Hey guys, what's up? My name is Devin, and today we're going to be taking a look at the newest Java Edition snapshot for 1.17 that has come out today, November 11th. We are just being spoiled with snapshots. It feels like we just got one. In fact, we pretty much did about a week ago, max. And now our boy Adrian is back with Minecraft Snapshot 20w46a. Alright, here's how it goes. The snow is snowier than before. For today's snapshot, we've changed most of the textures introduced in the previous snapshot. This is simply to test if these textures give a better experience in exploring and building. We're interested to hear what you think. Keep in mind that some textures might be reverted or changed again in the future. So it looks like this snapshot is going to be focused heavily on texture changes, except that's what I thought if it wasn't for this. They added powder snow. Hell yeah. Bedrock Edition got this already. I didn't look at it. I didn't want to spoil it for myself. So let's just read what they have to say about it. Powder snow. Snowier snow. Powder snow is a trap block that causes any entity that walks into it to sink in it. You can pick up and place powder snow with a bucket, wear leather boots to prevent yourself from sinking into powder snow blocks, leave a cauldron outside in falling snow and it will fill with powder snow. Another huge thing they added is freezing. Standing in powder snow will slowly freeze an entity. Once frozen, freeze damage is done every few seconds to the frozen entity. Each piece of leather armor worn causes an entity to freeze more slowly, and wearing a full set of leather armor prevents freezing entirely. Then of course they list the textures and a few other changes. The biggest thing to note in the other changes is that copper blocks are now crafted from 4 copper ingots, whereas previously it was 9, which I definitely thought was way too expensive, so I'm excited to see this change implemented. Alright guys, now to start us off here, I have just laid out a little section as I do, so you guys can see the actual changes and recipes and whatever else there is for yourselves. So first up here, we have Snowier Snow, of course. So, to get Snowier Snow, you need a bucket, as the snapshot described, and you need the Snowier Snow. One thing to note is, as of right now, Snowier Snow does not spawn naturally. It's unconfirmed if it will spawn naturally ever, but right now it will not generate in your current snapshot world. You can, however, still get it in survival mode. You need a bucket, and then you need a cauldron, and you have to wait for it to snow. So as you can see here, the cauldron is slowly filling up with powder snow, and when it reaches the top, that is only when you can right click it. As you can see, I currently cannot get it in the bucket, but while that is collecting, let's talk more about powder snow and its effects. So I have no armor on or anything right now. This is what happens whenever you go and stand in powder snow. As you can see, there is this incredible outline showing us slowly freezing, and our FOV is decreasing slowly, and eventually, there it is. We will start to take freeze damage. Now, one thing to note is this is not too bad damage-wise at all. It's very slow. However, it is a new way to take damage. Another interesting thing to note is you cannot hop out of powder snow. Once you are in it, the only way to get out is to break it. And slowly your FOV will return to normal and the outline on your screen will disappear. One other effect of powder snow I wanted to showcase is the extreme restriction of vision while in it. Look at this. This is literally a 3x3 cube of powder snow, and look at how restricted my vision is. It also slows your movement greatly, of course. Now, as I read in the snapshot page, if you wear leather boots and you step on powder snow, then you will not sink in. However, one very interesting thing to notice, and I'm so happy they chose to implement it like this, is if you shift, you can still sink into the snow, and if you hold space, you go up, almost like a slower form of scaffolding, which I think is very, very interesting. It is going to lead to some very interesting hidden entrance base opportunities and stuff like that. So here's something interesting for you guys. As you can see, I am wearing full leather armor, and the page states that if we walk into it, prevents freezing entirely if we have a full set of leather armor on. But as you can see, that is kind of just not the case. And it's even the same if you're only 1 block deep. As you can see, we will still start to take damage here. There you go. So I'm a little confused about that. I'm thinking maybe this is a bug or something that I'm sure Mojang knows about by now. Although this feature is not yet part of the actual game, I'm assuming they're planning on making that way, considering that's what's listed in the update page. Another thing to note about powder snow is it does not melt, similarly to packed ice. Of course, the snow around it, as you will see in a second, will melt, but the powder snow will not. And finally, as you may have noticed on the snapshot page as well, freezing applies to all entities, not just yourself. So as we can see, if I spawn a zombie in here, he will slowly start taking damage. And there you go. It is definitely a very slow damage thing. But it is another way to trap mobs, which will be very interesting for mob spawners and stuff like that. And the last set of really notable changes is the changes to textures from the previous snapshot. I've got to be honest with you guys, some of these textures look the exact same to me. Cut copper looks pretty much the exact same. Calcite looks pretty much the exact same. Lightning rod looks pretty much the exact same. I will say I can notice a difference in the amethyst and budding amethyst, albeit pretty slight. And also with tinted glass, I can't notice a difference either. And lastly, we have changes to certain icons. The copper ingot icon was changed. I can't really see much of a difference here. The candle sprite was changed, which I can actually see a difference in. I prefer this a lot. I think this looks much cleaner, much more Minecrafty in general than the previous one. And they changed the amethyst shard sprite. Can't see a difference here personally. But then they changed the bundle, which the sprite is not only very different, but oh my god, they made a UI change that is so good. So now instead of just listing what's in it as shulker boxes do, if I just put this stuff in here, you can hover over it and it will actually show you. I think that is such a good quality of life change that they've made with that. It's such a small touch, but something I feel like was very necessary and is going to make using bundles just that much easier. Now, I was just going to wait for this cauldron to fill all the way, but I'm at the end of the video and it's still not full. So one thing to note is that apparently it does take a while, so better have those cauldrons just ready to go. But I do want to show you guys what it looks like when you pick up powder snow, so pretend I'm getting this from the cauldron. Alright, so this is what it looks like. It's called a powder snow bucket. And although it is a bucket, you'd kind of just place it like a block. It just functions the same exact way as any other block would, except, you know, powder snow. It's in a bucket. And yeah, guys, that wraps it up for the latest snapshot. Definitely a smaller one than the previous one. Still a lot of good changes here. Snowier snow is something I'm actually really excited to use in my worlds. And I'm definitely going to be using some of that on my Twitch stream world. Once again, twitch.tv/GoodDevin. And if you're interested, I stream pretty much bi-daily right now. That might be subject to change, but that's kind of what I'm at this point. And once again, as I state with all these snapshot videos, I did not cover the more technical changes in this snapshot, as well as some of the more small additions that I just will not be covering in this video. So if you want to go and find those out for yourself, I'm sure there's many talented people making wonderful videos about them. But yeah, that's gonna do it. If you did enjoy, please like and subscribe. Gotta get that algorithm boost, baby. And once again, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I'm GoodDevin. Take care.